We back. Uh, I don't even know what I'm making this video about today. I'm just going to keep it all the way 1,000, a million, a trillion. I don't even know what I'm making this this video about. I'm just gonna, excuse me. I'm just gonna go on a rant. Just going to go on a rant and just talk about several things. One of the first things I want to talk about is I was riding yesterday, and I was just thinking. I was thinking about the relativity of life and how you can learn anything. Absolutely anything. You can learn it. And the reason that you can learn anything is because of the relativity of life. God created a blueprint in creation. And nothing in creation that he has created can get outside of that blueprint. Now, you have people, or rather to say encapsulated, you have man, right? Man has perverted creation. Just, even leading it back, just call it Satan, right? Lucifer. He has perverted creation, perverted the order of creation. But watch this. Watch the power of the truth, the power of God. Even in the perversion of creation, you still can never get outside of the order of creation. Because even in you going out of order, there's still order. You see, it's still an order. You just went out of it. Instead of A, B, C, D, you went D, C, A, B. It's still an order. You're still dealing with A, you're still dealing with B, you're still dealing with C, you're still dealing with D. But you just went out of order. So even in perversion, right, you can still see the truth if you pay attention. If you pay attention. Even a lie. As a child, I learned this from getting many ass whoopings. The best lie that you can tell is always half truth. It always has a large portion of truth to it. The worst lie you could tell just has a little bitty fraction of, you know what I'm saying? It's easily, oh, that's a lie. Look at that, bing, bang, boop. Easily move you out the way. Don't want it, right? The best lie has a large portion of truth attached to it. Because it has to. A lie has to stand on something. Because why? A lie is a perversion of the truth. It can't stand alone. It has no power. It has to have something to say. Look over there. That's true. Now look at this. And it makes you think, or it wants you to believe, since that's true, it wants you to keep that spiritual momentum up, that intellectual momentum up, and take for granted, assume that this also has to be true without investigation. That's how this works. That's how deception works. A mishandling of words and so on and so forth. Like I told you, I'm rambling. I'm just talking right now. I feel like I need to vent, and I need to vent to somebody. So I'm venting to you, my friend. I don't know. So what do I say that for? I was just thinking how we are God's harvest. We are. We're God's harvest. By the way, I'm a Christian. Let's be clear. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, Son of God, died on the cross for the sins of the world, resurrected the third day, ascended on high, sits at the right hand of the Father, waiting for the return. Let's be clear what it is. Yeah, let's be clear. But, I was just thinking about, like, we are his harvest. Right? The word is like a seed planted in our hearts. Our heart is the soil. Right? And when we are mature, right, we're harvested. We're gathered to him who did the planting. But I was thinking about it in a different way. Because that is true. And even though that is true, I was thinking about it in the way that God has put something in each and every last one of us. A purpose. A gift. Something that only we can do. Nobody can do it quite like us. Nobody's called to do it other than us. This gift, this seed, this powerful thing, this purpose, I was thinking about it in the natural. And in the natural, somebody plants something, right? Plant it in the soil. They find fertile soil, right? Gotta find fertile soil. Find fertile soil. It's deep. It's nutritious, right? Boop. Right? Water, sunshine, starts to sprout, starts to grow up, grow out. And then it buds or it begins to produce fruit. Right? Some type of fruit. And I was thinking about it in the terms of a person. And I said to myself, what if, right? What if nobody harvested the fruit? It would die on the vine. It would die on the vine. Even deeper still, what if the seed didn't split in the ground? And the fruit that you saw from what you know that particular product or seed is, you see that's what it is, because this one over here is bearing fruit, but this one over here is planted in the soil, but it didn't die. See, a seed has to die in the ground. A seed has to cease to be what it is to become what it's supposed to be. I'm going to say that again. A seed has to cease to be what it is so it could become what it's supposed to be. And the only way to cease to be what you are, to become what you're supposed to be, is to die. But what if you didn't die to yourself? So you could become what you were intended to become. And the fruit that's in you, right, that's seen clearly by another plant that's planted somewhere next to you that has done what it was supposed to do, the fruit that was in you would never come to fruition. The potential would die. The purpose would die. Instead of the person, instead of the soul, instead of the will, instead of the seed. It would die inside you. You'll never sprout through the ground. You'll never come through the ground. You'll never even come through the ground. Nobody will ever see you. Nobody will even ever know that you were in the ground. They will walk right over you, walk right past you. All because you wouldn't die to yourself and become what you were supposed to become. I don't know what else to say. Life is hard, man. It's hard, but it's fair. A good old guy used to say all the time, it's hard, but it's fair. I changed it up. I'm going to change that up a little bit. It's hard, but it's just. It's hard, but it's just. Yeah, you can learn anything. You just got to find out what it is that you want to know and how it connects to what you already know. Because life is relative. You got to find it. You got to find the suitable connecting dots and say, oh, this is like that and that is like this. And then you can learn anything. It's called association. If you're able to associate it with something that you don't know, something that you already know, then essentially you learn something that you did not know. It's like the computer is the brain. So if you figure out how the brain works, you figure out how the computer works. So vice versa. If you figure out how the computer works, then in a lot of ways you have figured out how a lot about the brain works. But being as though the brain is, of course, the progenitor to the computer. And obviously, it would be better to find out more about the brain so you can understand more about the computer. But if you're not privy to information about the brain, then the computer will be a good start. All right? The car is your body, right? The fuel tank is your stomach. The exhaust is your bowels. The engine is your heart. The CPU is your brain. Right, the window shields in connection with the headlamps, headlights are your eyes, right? The vent, your nose, the horn, your mouth, the wheels, your legs and your arms, right? So, there's nothing new under the sun. Man hasn't created anything new. It's all old. You can't get outside of what God created. You can't even imagine it. Because you got to have a reference point to really truly imagine something unique and standalone-ish, so to speak, if that's a word. Right? You can't. You can't. So, I don't know who I'm talking to, but maybe I'm talking to myself, but this is what it is. This is what it is. Find out your purpose. Realize your purpose. Easier said than done, I guess. Some people are born knowing what they're supposed to do. They just have it in them from birth. So they shoot out the womb. They on their way, right? Most of us, it's not so. Most of us got to go through the ringer to figure it out. Most of us actually never do figure it out. We get caught up in this system, right? Cogs in the machine. Never figure out our purpose. Never really truly do what we were supposed to do. And then we die. It's a sad shame. But you gotta fight against it, man. You gotta fight against the apathy. You gotta fight against the ignorance. People that are around you, people that you love. And for all intents and purposes, love you. They don't know. They never became what they were supposed to become. How can they help you become what you're supposed to become? They can't even recognize it. They don't mean no harm. Most people don't mean any harm. They just don't know. And so you kind of left to yourself and left to try to figure it out on your own. They did the best that they could, whoever they were. They did the best that they could with what they had. Whoever put and poured into them. You don't know much, you can't do much. Ain't no point, no fingers, no blame game. You just got to come to certain understandings while you're on your way. Got to be humble. It's easy to find out that something is wrong with you than to actually fix what's wrong with you. I think deep down inside, a lot of people know. Most people know that something's wrong with them. Regardless if they tell somebody, have a heart-to-heart with somebody, write it down, sing about it, whatever. But I think most people know that something's wrong with them. Something's broken. But it's one thing to know that it is, and it's another thing to actually know how to fix it. It's another thing to actually have the desire, the willpower, the discipline, the consistency to fix it. It takes a strong person. It takes a humble person. It takes a submissive person. It takes an ordered person. It takes a willing person. I don't know what else to say. I got some other stuff to say, but I don't think I actually want to say it on here. So, again, Cedric Williams. Today is November 9th. 4:07 p.m. 2018. It's 42, 45 degrees outside. And God is still